Hello, everyone, and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be in the world. I'm Homemade Beer, joined by my Indium, and we are here to commentate on another round of the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season 4 playoffs. We are currently in round 2 of the playoffs with Team Skull Kids, represented by Gamachu, versus Team Mogliacci, represented by Orange. So far in the series, we have had Moogle facing Shireen in casual boots and was not able to take a win there. And we also saw Ramond facing up against Julo Ninja and was also not able to take a win there. So it's up to Orange now to defeat Gamachu in this hard enemizer mode that we get to see today. So looking forward to the match. How are you doing tonight, my Indian?
I am doing well, and you kind of think hard enemizer might be something of an equalizer here. Orange needs something to go right to take one game, just one, off of the Skull Kids here to keep the series alive. Gamachu, of course, looking to close it out, taking home the third W.
Yeah, that's true. We did see Gamachu had an okay run so far in the season, being carried pretty heavily by his teammates through the co-op modes and getting to take a couple wins off there, whereas, Mogliacci, a very solid team. And definitely have seen, Orange is going to do a good job here in the enemizer, I think. Gamachu will have to hope that he finds his bug net.
Ah, the one true go mode. Let's see how quickly we see it.
All right, cool. And we get opposite starts from the runners. Orange already gets a sword, and that looked like 2 pendants and a crystal. Did I get that right? Yep, there it is.
Looked like to me our tracker profile right on top of it, I hope.
Yep, and we get to see Gamachu doing the uncle route here. Let's see if he gets bailed out with some early items, and he gets bombed, so that helps.
Yeah, easy game, right? Just kill a guard inside, come back out, or, well, maybe we don't have guards. We have, okay, there is something that can die in there. I was wondering for just a second if Gamma would have any land. Maybe not.
Yeah, get some info. No, what do we like to see there? Lionels. Lionels are a fun one in Uncle.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe a chain chomp every now and again.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and so Gamma getting rewarded with this play with the Moon Pearl.
Nice early piece of the Dark World Access puzzle. Of course, going to be missing at least one glove and either the hammer or the other glove, or, well, you could always do Aga if you really cared enough.
Yeah, Gamma not taking his chances doing bomb escape here, so we'll see. If Orange makes his way, he'll have to eventually get up to Uncle, and if he's able to find something and escape, we'll end up saving a lot of time over Gamma 2 here.
And snagging that nice bottle in the forest drop enables one additional check in the village.
Yeah, one of the things you absolutely want to see before entering the village. The other one obviously being the flute, and the trifecta of awesome would be the boots, but, usually unlikely to see all 3.
If you want to be really greedy, maybe you can throw in the hammer and the powder.
Yeah, that's true. And this is a cool play from Orange here, recognizing that a fish on the overworld right outside of the village allows him to farm, 20 rupees, a full magic, 10 arrows, and 8 bombs from the bottle vendor. Oh, and a single rupee. 21 rupees, my bad.
Yeah, you just get to slurp up a handful of little extra... What's the word I'm even looking for? Resources. Resources, that's a good word.
Yeah, works. And we see Gamachu leaving, finding the bottle, and says, you know what, that's not enough to do CAC right now. I'm gonna be as greedy as you were talking about earlier and look for those boots or look for that flute.
Go everywhere else first, why not?
Yeah, it's one of those plays that some people might consider clowning, but it might work out for him here. So
it's enemizer, it's only dangerous everywhere.
Yeah,
Maybe he
exactly.
just doesn't want to go in on 4 hearts green mail to the chicken shack.
That's true. Yeah, he's probably scared of the enemies that might show up there. Oh, getting $300 ain't bad.
Gonna make it easy to pay off a bottle vendor when he finally gets there.
Yeah, and the other thing that's nice is with the early sword, Chicken Shack is a lot less dangerous overall.
That spike there causing just a little bit of havoc.
Yeah, yeah. So what are you looking forward to today? What actually, we haven't really introduced the audience to the mode yet. What does Enemizer do for us, and what does hard mode do for us?
Well, hard mode means we're never going to have more than the green mail, we're never going to have the silver arrows, and we're going to be stuck at a maximum of the tempered sword. Which, that's all easy enough, runners of this caliber not really going to be all that concerned, but the enemizer is what's going to make it just a little more interesting. Every once in a while you'll find big spikes just hanging out on the overworld, or mimics, which aren't nearly so much of a problem. But then you get to somewhere like Dark Cross and it's spike rollers all the way down.
Amazing. So, real quick to point out, between the two runners, we do have Dark World access. Gamachu did find a glove in Mini Muldorm Cave, and Orange did find a hammer in the terrible chicken hut today with a bunch of red guards and blue guards.
Very heavily guarded chicken shack.
Yeah. And also finding another sword, so this is actually a pretty good Kakariko.
Imagine, every once in a while you do get punished for skipping the village.
Yeah, and I do believe in the League settings, one of the more interesting features that I would say that was different than they had during Week 7 of League is that the boss shuffle in Enemizer has two versions of it where it is called Full Shuffle or Chaos Shuffle, where Full Shuffle has up to 3 duplicates of bosses you might have already seen, whereas Chaos Shuffle, you can see any boss any number of times.
Yeah, 6 times Fighter Sword Vitreous. Let's see it.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it? And Gamachu not going to take his chances on Dark Cross here without a lamp. Escape is one of actually the more precarious areas to do an Enemizer without a lamp.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and have a look at the front instead.
This is a choice. I guess it's in logic now, so he knows there is an item in Dark Cross guaranteed based on finding the map and the small key. So,
and at least for this portion of it, he can still see where he's going.
yeah. Watch. He gets a lamp in front of Escape, so it's like, oh well, that's an easy choice, right? Oh, another interesting thing too. We're almost at Zora money, and doing the South Dark World checks. Fake flippering is a pretty scary proposition in this mode because you never know what's going to be on the water. Oh, and Gamachu going straight for the bow, so that's a thing that actually only is hard required to do the boss of Palace of Darkness, but does definitely imply logic.
And does that, and also gives you kind of that nice ranged capability that maybe you want a little bit more of in a mode like this.
Yeah, definitely. And we do see Gamachu with some nice strats there to make sure that the sword does not attack him when he walks past the barrier in the front of Escape.
Looks like the boomerang chest a little less well off, and just that $20 for Orange there in Agina's closet, everybody's second favorite Eller, because, well, he's only got one item, and he's a little further out of the way.
Yeah, definitely with the routing choices of doing that the way Orange is doing, he's being very thorough and making sure that he's not going to get burned by any Sphere 1 checks here.
To answer a question from chat, Gamma skipped that key because he can always go in from the front to get to Dark Cross and does not need one more in that particular circumstance.
Yep, and here we go. Gamachu heading over to Kakariko. Having already done the north check, is going to come in from the south, and we'll find that hammer and chicken hut, allowing him to end up in the north side of Kakariko and go straight into the Dark World, unless he doesn't get past this Lionel here. So, oh, there he goes.
Lyle's a bit more afraid-y cats than you might sometimes think. It feels like they're right in the way, but if you move towards them, they'll move back eventually.
Yeah, just gotta wait for them to fire their shot, and yeah, so we'll see how Gamachu can do here. Without that bug net, it might be tough for him to route in the Dark World with this low of health. Like he'll definitely be looking for that to try and catch some fairies.
It's always nice to have a fairy in your back pocket.
Yeah, so here we'll see. Did we see Ice Rod Cave on Gamachu's side? I actually don't remember. No, we definitely did. I just don't remember what it was.
It probably wasn't anything important, right?
Yeah, I think we might have remembered it at that point. Yeah, so Heart's not bad. I think, okay, Orange is going to try and make the play here. I think with that glove, he can farm enough money for Zora and just go for it.
Yeah, one quick dip into this cave is going to do plenty. There are 20 rupees right there, and all of a sudden, Zora money appears.
Oh, Gamma taking a death here. Okay, that's his first death. That is the hammer, so I know he doesn't have much left. It doesn't make sense for him to not go straight back to Kakariko with the highest density area.
Orange using that bomb to blast just right up against the screen transition. The bomb will not blow you into the screen transition, but it'll set you up right where you want to be for fake flippers.
Yeah, those guards were pretty rude to Gamma there. With them being red guards, they do just chase you immediately, and you have to be a little careful about making sure you don't get hit. So, but as we know, the hammer is there. He will get back there very shortly. So
given the relative quantity of checks left, it's kind of going to be one of those situations where he gets funneled sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. And we get our life savings from the hobo here, 20 bucks. And, with this play from Orange, it depends on what's in the water. Sometimes there's a Lionel, sometimes there's a mini Helma, sometimes something just doesn't allow you to do this. And, making a brave call here to just go check all the water checks, get him out of the way. The only thing that he's going to kind of get burned by here is that he will not be able to check the waterfall checks without that Moon Pearl. Ooh, and that yellow spike was the thing.
There seem to be a few things here, and Orange is going to say, yeah, get me out of the water.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to stay in there, right, if you can't check waterfall anyway, so. And just finding a bottle on the ledge, not going to pick that up. It'd be nice, though. Enemizer hard mode is a thing.
Definitely a mode where you'll see runners both getting and using a few more safeties than you might in more conventional games.
So, my name, what do you think about this lag here in Zora area? We got these exploder boys.
There's one of them, and then they make more of themselves, and yeah,
it's so good. I love it.
It slows everything down.
it's okay. There we go. Gamachu made it through the second time around. Gets his hammer and just gets a couple hits here. Is probably going to be entering Dark World, it seems, from this perspective he has on the seed.
Zora with the very definition of a scam there. Give him 500 rupees. Get 20 back.
Ooh, a bomb slug. Those are nice. Hey, they even are in their vanilla prize pack today. They only do 4 hearts of damage. It's fine.
Yeah, no problem there. Oh, well, actually, Gamma on 2 hearts, that would be a little bit of a problem now, wouldn't
it? Yeah, just a little bit. Both runners getting trolled by the thief in Escape. That's actually pretty funny. Setting up the early bomb to save time on the explosion timer. But the thief says no. All right, so what do we got?
5-6 is catty-cornered on the map there. Meyer and TR.
Yeah, and we got Green Pendant Pod. What does that mean to you?
Well, if one of the runners was Kyong, the other one might want to go ahead and rush that, but given what we actually have here, I don't know. Some players might want to believe in Pendant Pod here. We'll have to look. Have to look and see.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, and with another interesting change in Enemizer is because the boss of Thieves Town is not blind and does not have to be rescued, and the attic does not have to be opened. Then, sorry, just to interrupt myself. Orange did not do front of escape, so will not get that bow, which might not actually matter because the only thing that the bow is required for is Helma. But yeah, so just to quickly finish up, my thought here was that in Enemizer, you can actually just go kill the boss. In Thieves Town, you don't have to ever do the back if there's nothing there.
Certainly a thing you'll see from time to time in Enemizer, doing the front four and then just rushing the boss room really quick.
Yeah, just a quick clarification. In Enemizer, well, sorry, for people who watch Rando and understand the game and have been watching it for a long time, you definitely know there are rooms where there are enemies that can only be killed by the bow, specifically the red Igors, and they made a specific change in Enemizer to guarantee that any room where you have to open a door by killing the enemies in the room, there cannot be a red Igor in that room. So as far as it goes, logically, the bow is still has implications on what checks are in logic, but as far as being forced to do things, the only thing the bow opens in the entire mode is the boss of Palace of Darkness.
And we do see Gamma making his way here into the back of Thieves Town, while Orange is going to go ahead and have a look at the middle of Skull Woods.
Yeah, and there's not. Oh, he's doing the back of Thieves Town here. This is a very conservative play from Gamma, honestly. Maybe he forgot.
Maybe just feels that there's something back there. They glove hammer and not a whole lot else in the early game, but this Hellway looks pretty spicy.
Yeah, definitely. That's a Hellway for sure. And Orange not even gonna worry about it here, just gonna kill everything and hope the anti-fairy doesn't troll him, which they tend to do in this room, and gets through it just fine, so does a very good job. And finds the lamp. Okay, well, from what we know, all of Pod is in logic, which is actually very interesting.
That's a thing you can find there. It's a little fire rod adjacent,
okay.
And Gamachu's play into the back of Thieves Town immediately pays off. Hello, the Red Cane.
Yeah, definitely going to need that. So Gamachu definitely having good intuition here, or forgetting that he doesn't have to do this. Well, you do have to do this in this seed, but... So we'll see. Orange has to make the same play, or a similar play, to get to the back of Thieves Town, which honestly, like in Enemizer mode, is, in my opinion, is kind of a hard play. It feels really good to be greedy in this mode and just skip the back of Thieves Town and just go straight for the boss, but can't do that on this seed.
I think that guard just learned how to hover. Was anybody else watching that room on Orange's side?
Yeah, definitely.
Bounced right off the bumper into the pit and said, nope, you know what? I'm not falling in the pit today.
Yeah, I think it's been using the practice hack for sure. And one of the newer features to point out here is that in a somewhat recent, I think within the last month or so, patch release, they made it such that the compass of a dungeon will show you the boss if you check the map. And from knowing that, Gamachu was able to see that the boss of Thieves Town is Helmasaur, and we'll be able to go fight him here with hammer, bombs, master sword, arrows, all the things that make it easy.
The bombs may be a little dangerous, bouncing back off the mask, taking a hit of damage on his own, but already all the way through phase 1, and, well, arrows will do.
Yeah, and thinking about the way he routed Thieves Town, I think he found 3 items in the front, and so he walked all the way to Blind Cell to get the compass so that he knew he could beat the boss. No, there was another item. He skipped the big chest. I wonder, is there something I'm missing about the mode?
It didn't have the small key.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, that's smart. I was like, wait, what happened? Why didn't he go to do the big chest? But yep, makes sense.
For totally normal reasons.
All right, so this will be a big question mark here if Orange makes the play to get that red cane.
Yeah, we did see that very brief high five there in the C-shaped house. Looks like Gamma's heading south.
Yeah, so Gamma will be missing the lamp. Orange did find 2 items in the front of Skullwood, so knows that the only thing he needs to go back there at all for is to kill the boss. And I believe the compass was actually in the back of Skullwood, so the boss could be, what's his name, Argus. He might need the hookshot to beat Skullwoods here, so it's, you know, if you're not sure yet, it's really tough to figure out when you should go back. And usually the answer is just go back once you have every item to beat everything and you're in go mode.
Yeah, at this point, our runner is still looking for so many things that it's kind of tough to say, well, I'll just wander on back and kill that boss right now. But at the very least, going to need to find a fire rod first just to get into the back, but even after that.
Yeah, and Gamachu finding a big 20 on Dig Game and deciding to pick it up. Wants a little bit of extra money for Pod. So yeah, I think, I'm trying to think about where the time difference lies. I think the biggest time difference we've seen is mainly Orange doing the Zora checks as well as the front of Skullwoods where Gamma went straight into Thieves Town. So, and here we go, Orange fighting the boss. This is a sign that he has no interest in whatever might be in the back and will basically never come back here.
That
especially
is a
finding
dangerous
3
spot
items.
to be in.
Yep. Yeah, because he'll have found 3 items now, and there will be only 1 in the back, which we know is a very important item. And wow, with the 2 double spins on Helma, that was really nicely done.
Helma being very aggressive and paying for it. Gamma, meanwhile, pulling Quake Medallion and the hookshot there out of old Johnny Two Bomb, Speakeasy, and Tripe Cave. Not a very Tripe Cave today. It almost lives up to its old name for once.
Yeah, it's very nice. And I feel like we've been seeing that all week. Tripe Cave's been actually not terrible. Yeah, and we see Orange leaving. This isn't the worst case scenario. There could be nothing in Meyer or Turtle Rock in that Red Cane is go mode. But with the Red Cane and Logic as early as it is, and Meyer and PR both being red crystals, there could be something in Pyramid Fairy.
Seems possible, although between the 2 of the dungeons, you wind up needing most of the items to get through them. I guess we're talking about things like flippers and mirror at that point?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a scenario where, because a lot of times, you know, people who watch Rando think about, you know, what things are making people have, putting people in bad positions, and, you know, missing an item like Red Cane in the back of Thieves Town could put you in a bad position. Unless there's literally nothing in Meyer and Turtle Rock, and Red Cane ends up being go mode for Orange, that actually could help him. And Gamma Shoot full clears 2 dungeons that he doesn't need to do. You know, it's one of those things that you really don't know until you get a little bit deeper into a seed.
The possibility does exist, and particularly in the case of Turtle Rock, which is kind of a long slog of a dungeon, you can go in there and do quite a few checks and not get what you're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. Ganon firing off a couple red canes here just to make sure that it works and kind of flaunting his decision to get it in Orange's face. He doesn't realize it yet, but we get to see it on restream and know that he's like, I've got the red cane and you don't, buddy.
Let's see what he wants to try next, as Orange is now in the midst of this kind of middling Dark World loop, going to be rewarded with that hookshot and Quake medallion here shortly.
Yeah, this is going to actually be really interesting now. From Gawachu's perspective, Eastern is in logic, even though it's a pendant. He can check out what's at Saha. He didn't find much except for this hookshot. He doesn't know that the mountain's actually in logic, and Hera even with that lamp that was in Skull Woods. Ooh, bomb slug, 4 hearts. Oh, there we go. Wizrobe, 4 hearts. Everything around here is 4 hearts. That's nice. But yeah, so he can check out this area, and if he decides to do so, we'll probably clear Eastern if he walked all the way over here. Nope. Okay, I was wrong.
As he saves and quits, because that's what Gamma does. Just get that save and quit off as early as possible. It's where all the free time save is, right?
That's true. And to be fair, knowing Gamma, he's one of the players definitely that Eastern Palace, if it's a pendant, it doesn't exist. So. All right, so with what we've seen from both runners here, Indian, what do you think the actual next progression is going to show up?
I think that Gamma may be kind of walking past it on the way to make a different check, but we know that the mountain is now logical. Seems pretty reasonable to find something on Light Mountain right now.
Yeah, and you know what else we have in logic is Eastern and Pod and Green Pendant. Just kind of funny.
Imagine going over to the eastern side of the world where it's pendant dungeons all the way down, and of course Orange may be thinking, well, I have no bow, and there are logical implications to that bow. I don't want to go there.
That's actually a really good point, that even though as far as boss rooms go, there's a lot of logic to being able to clear out the items in Palace of Darkness, but with enemizer, you don't necessarily need to worry about it. So, all right, let's see if there's any enemies here that'll punish Gamachu for not having that lamp. Doesn't look like it so far. Yeah, this is a pretty free old man rescue. No Lionels, no chain chomps.
But you do see the advantage of having that light cone from the lamp. Orange was in second, but out first.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was our second mail upgrade. Because they both got a green 20 there, and we saw a green 20 on the library. So I'm pretty sure that was our second mail upgrade.
Seems reasonable to me. They're not at sword capacity yet. Orange is not at bow capacity, and for them both to get the green 20 there, it has to be something that they both already have.
Yeah, wouldn't that have been amazing if that was a bow?
That's a thing we may see eventually. Orange may happen across the second bow somewhere out in the wild, and Gamma will just see a green 20 and be left to wonder.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, so we see Gamachu skipping the top of Spectacle Rock, Orange checking it for, I believe, a piece of heart. Oh, well, there's the bug net. I think it's hard to say. It's going to be tough for Orange to catch up now that Gamachu has a bug net.
Well, he's going to have to look for advantages of his own now, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I don't think there's a bottle with orange potion in it.
That would be nice. So we get our flute. We get a bug net. We get a mirror. Interestingly enough, with that bombos, that actually is a little more important in enemizer. Something you don't kind of realize if you don't play the mode very much, but we can actually kill Cold Stare if we find him, and assuming we have the magic to do so, obviously. But we still need a fire rod to get through Turtle Rock, probably, almost guaranteed. Not 100% chance we do, but pretty likely we do. And otherwise, we may or may not need an ice rod. So as far as what we are left looking for, we need the mitts and the flippers.
Mitts and
Might be
flippers
it.
for sure.
That might literally be the only thing we need left. But, you know, who knows at this point.
Most likely both rods, or at the very least the fire rod. Well, we're gonna need the fire rod one way or another because we've got Skull Woods' crystal. We have to beat the rod here no matter who it is.
That's important. It's important. It's an important thing to remember. Good call. All right, since we
stare at the tracker long enough,
good.
maybe we'll notice something else.
Yeah. Are we? No, I was gonna say Ped's almost in logic, but I guess it's not quite. All right. So as far as interesting bosses go in Enemizer, my Indian, what are you kind of looking forward to here?
Well, we can always try and guess how many eyes are going to be on any given Moldhorn. That's a good one. We can have the Moth in a room that is not the room that Moth gets to cheat in, which is always kind of fun.
Yeah, that's a nice and easy boss kill.
Yeah,
oh, hi, Ether.
Yeah, hi, Ether. You can have terrible things like Helmasaur at the top of Tower of Hera, where it gets to cheat and stand over that pit in the middle that Moldorm likes to try and knock you into.
Wow, that was a hell of a Philly pot, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, that was really quickly done, wasn't it? Helma gets to stand over that pit and can cheat you out of hits. Not the most fun thing in the world.
Yeah, and let's see. Hera is a crystal here, so yep. Orange has to go. Well, doesn't have to. Is going to check out what the boss is and can kill. No, can actually kill any boss that is allowed to spawn up here. Ooh, and finds Vidi. I don't know. Did you just leave? There's no point to kill Vidi here until the end of the game, right? No, I guess there's no way to do it faster if you don't ever find Tempered, so.
Going to go ahead and go with the bomb strats. It's always kind of fun, particularly if you've played one of those customizer bomb-only modes to get the bombs out there and just kind of fling them in from the back of the arena.
Yeah, I've heard about this. Is kind of a newer thing that Kara spent a lot of time developing, which is really cool. And this is actually, you know, in Oko mode right now on Orange's side. These eyeballs do 4 hearts of damage.
The game, of course, expecting you'll have picked up the blue mail along the way and are at least somewhat protected against things when you fight Treacherous, but, well, we're not. And being that we're playing hard mode, we never will be.
Yep, yeah. Bo would, as people are pointing out in chat, Bo would be amazing right now, but not really going to have that yet, so. Looks like Gamachu finding the mirror decides to activate the flute, and you know, thinking about this makes sense. With the routing choice he made of not doing Spectacle Rock earlier, can use the mirror to route it in one shot, and doesn't have to climb up the left side of the mountain twice. So this is the way that Orange is doing the fight here, killing all the eyeballs. There's definitely strategies that I've seen runners do where you leave one eyeball alive and then just bait it out, and while it's out, walk to the left or right side of the big eyeball and hammer it, which does a Master Sword spin's worth of damage. I believe 16 hammer hits or 32 Master Sword slashes. Oh, that's not good, but just a little bit of lost time. I think Orange leaves here. There's no reason to go back and finish this fight.
Well, that may be what you think, or maybe Orange is heading down to the basement instead. Let's see. Nope, decides against it.
Yeah, he found both items. No, he's... Oh, he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have a bomb for hair. Yeah, I don't know. He doesn't need to do this right now. So, but looks like he's choosing to. He did find 2 items in here. I think with the mirror and everything else that's going on in the seed, I don't think it's crazy for him to just leave and do other stuff, come back and beat it before Ganon. But decides he wants to finish the dungeon. You know, wants to tell Vidi what for.
Yeah, wants a little revenge. Makes sense.
Oh, and there we go with Gamma Did I miss something? Why is the eyeball not spawning?
That's interesting.
Oh, we glitched it somehow. Okay, that's new to me. I have no idea. That is literally the first time I've ever seen that, so I have no idea what just happened. But very similar to what I was saying earlier, if you kill the big eye, whether or not small eyes are still alive, you're able to do damage to the big eye, and it doesn't matter if the small eyes are alive or not. You can still kill the boss. So.
Orange back into Oko range, but did capture a fairy before this, so does have a little additional safety.
Yeah, so that'll be nice here. Not worried about the fight anymore. Still a bit annoying to die in a fight like this, especially against a runner like Gamachu. So we'll see how the rest of the fight goes. It looks like he got the glitch too. Am I missing something? This is a cool thing apparently.
Meanwhile, Gamma did pull a full heart container out of Spike Cave and is now back in the light world and heading somewhere else. Maybe a shovel check here.
Yeah, I honestly like. I'm personally a little confused at. Well, I guess Gamachu doesn't have the lamp, so it's not as obvious to him. But Pod and Eastern are very heavily implied in logic right now. Like, they're not terrible places to be with what 7, 6, 7, 8 items between 9 items between the two of them, like, and a bow to put them in logic. So.
Well, Gamma does seem to be reading it at this point. Of course, there's only so many things left to him at this late date.
Yeah, he doesn't have much. I think he still hasn't done Zora, which Zora by himself is in logic. And in fact, because of not having found the flippers yet, the Waterfall Cave is still not in logic, but we haven't seen it from either runner, where Orange did do the Zora area earlier. I don't know. What do you want to see here? I'm feeling like we're gonna pull the mitts out of Pod, and it's gonna be otherwise empty. Literally nothing else.
Somewhere in the eastern area seems really likely at this point.
Yeah. We do need to find those flippers.
It may really be the thing that cracks the rest of this seed open is finding the mitts. Although flippers would give us Swamp Palace, and Swamp Palace could have all the goods.
Yeah, interesting. Orange going back in. He's going to activate his flute. It's curious to see where he goes next because there's still a lot of stuff. He still has all of the front of escape, actually, including the chest that Gamachu was too scared to do earlier without the lamp, which was the Dark Cross chest, which we know has an item of some kind.
And that front end of Palace of Darkness, none too kind. A couple of red guards, a couple of other guards. Lots of trouble going on here. But it looks like Orange is reading this thing similarly. Once again, we're going to have our runners teaming up on Palace of Darkness here.
Yeah, I think at this point, with the way the items have been laid out and what has happened to Orange, if there's a bow in Pod, it would help him. And if there's nothing on Helmasaur, Orange is in no bad place at all compared to Gamachu. In fact, in a better place with the lamp.
It does seem like Gamma is in a bit of a spot here where he's not going to find that lamp until the fire rod reaches the inventory. Rooms that normally have mimics and now have pretty much anything else.
Oh, nice roller. As our first roller today, I'm surprised. Oh, and getting... Okay. Good. Small key. I think Gamma gonna go and abuse this bug net he found.
Seems like a reasonable kind of time to do so, as long as he can evade this roller, of course.
Yeah, barely getting through there, but was able to pull it off. I think with the mirror in hand, obviously, this is the right play.
Seems to be less Palace of Darkness and more Palace of Red Guards today. Gamma putting the hook shot to very good use here. Orange did not choose to do so the first time, now has thought better of it and seen the error of his previous ways. Says, you know what, let me just stun all of these things and make my life not terrible.
Alright, so what do you... I'm hoping for a wall master on the hammer jump here. What do you think? Oh god, a pokey. Oh, it's a roller. Oh, Gamma. Okay, fine.
Yeah, just the compass after that, and
ooh, okay. That's a thing.
Bait this chain chomp out.
All right, this is where Randomizer gets fun. This is what the viewers want us. And getting bailed with the blue cane here. Okay.
Easy game, right? We'll have to expect that Orange is going to find that sooner or later, is going to go ahead and farm a few bombs here. Seems to have run a little low over the course of the thing. And there we go, as expected, Mitts in the dark in pod, which won't be in the dark by the time Orange gets there. Looks like Dark U basement, nothing really untoward in there. The fire bar. Probably the worst thing. Ooh, and surprise spike roller. Well, it looks like we've got a thief in Dark Maze. Nothing spitting fire, no sounds of bombs falling, so no zeros. Popo, that's easy enough. One sword slash. Seems like a free and easy Dark Maze, doesn't it?
Oh, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think it was that surprise spike roller that was the most impressive. Gamma decided he was going to make the walk over from the Dark U area towards the maze, and then the spike roller appeared out of the north wall. Kind of reminds me of the old wall masters from Zelda 1. You're walking along in the room and then all of a sudden, surprise! Gamma, you filled it with fairy. Please.
Alrighty, so we get to see our fun little ice palace here.
It could be, yeah. Looks like Gamma's going to head straight for it. No interest in doing the other out-of-logic flipper checks or going up to Zora, which would be logical with the glove. Nope, we'll get ice.
Yeah, Orange having a better time in the room here. Gets to check that Helma's the boss, but will not find a bow to be able to do it, So here we go. One of the... There's something that's worth pointing out that we haven't talked about yet, but certain bosses cannot actually appear in certain dungeons, and the most important one is Trinex. Where can Trinex show up? Do I need the Ice Rod? Pod is one place it can show up. Eastern Palace, Misery Mire, Ice Palace is the place it can show up. Swamp Palace and Turtle Rock, of course, and then in two places in Ganon's Tower. So we still have a chance that we end up on an Ice Rod hunt, as we saw earlier today between Dr. Martio and Willard J. Bradley. So.
Yep, Rando's favorite meme never gets old. Go find the Ice Rod so you can deal with Trinex.
Absolutely. And we're getting a lot of Wall Masters and Ice so far, which It's kind of one of those things that, as a runner, is good to see early because then you know to be careful later. But it's more fun as a viewer to see everyone get wall mastered in Ice Palace. But, I have a feeling now that we've
Particularly
seen a
wall
bunch.
mastered picking up the steel block right before Cold Stare.
Exactly. Or the one right here in this room, which definitely didn't happen to a couple runners in at least one of these teams in an earlier round of Enemizer.
It's worth pointing out again, Hookshot, one of the best items to have when you're playing Enemizer. You can deal with so many enemies so easily if you can just make them not move for a little while.
Yep, and Gamachu, finding the compass of Ice Palace, finds out that Argus is the boss and is able to be killed. Whereas Orange taking the Misery Mire route and can go into Desert. So, you know, with the mids, we have Ped and Logic. And I think we can have, what, Flippers, maybe Ice Rod, maybe Fire Rod on Ped at this point?
Yeah, those sound like good potentials. Boots as well.
Oh, Boots.
As long, of course, as we're not boots locked in Desert, which we'll probably find out here in a minute or so.
Yeah, nothing better than Enemizer with without boots, except for Enemizer without swords and with boots. But, you know, we can take what we can get here. So as far as we can tell, Orange, still having not done Front of Escape, has not found a bow, which, you know, based on the routing and based on what we've seen, is not going to really hurt him at all. The only thing that is going to be hard for him to get back to is the red cane in the back of Thieves Town, which Gamachu did before checking the boss. So that's where that was, and otherwise these runners have more or less done the same things.
Seems like Orange may be staying a little closer to Logic at the moment. Maybe the earlier Thieves Town skip is kind of in back of mind and thinks maybe something's left behind there.
Yeah, knows there's one item back there, but found 3 items by doing the front and killing the boss. So it's kind of a tough one to get back to, but with the flute, with the mitts, not the hardest place in the world to get back to, just an annoying one. And we do see big key, small key in Desert, so not boots locked, as you said.
Yeah, free and easy can do the boss if he really wants to. Meanwhile, Gamma seems to have a little bit of trouble here. It's fire, fire, and more fire.
Yeah. Snakes, bars, you know, all the things that you could want. And oh, hi, Ice Rod. That could be huge. That Ice Rod could be huge.
So much for the Ice Rod hunt, at least on Orange's side.
Yeah, I mean, when does Gamma ever decide that, you know, bootsless Desert is the play? That actually, and the
Speaking
boots
of the boots in formerly bootsless Desert.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Now, sometimes it does feel like Gamma has a nose for these items, sniffing out that red cane in the back of Thieves Town. Maybe he just winds up there sooner rather than later, but right now Orange has maybe found the advantage that gets him one step closer to the victory that his team so desperately needs.
Yeah, so going back into the village here, I guess he doesn't have much in logic, and I think he's recognizing that. Well, he's going north. So what is this? I guess this is the bonk. This is all the North Dark World route. I guess probably ends up at Catfish here though. So it's a very interesting place we're in right now. All of a sudden, but otherwise, Ice Palace turning up empty. Besides the boss, Gamachu heading off to do other things.
He has to do a quick reset of the Ancilla, but does get the splash deletion done and just barely ekes his way.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's not luck at all. It just happens sometimes, right? So, starting to look at this a little bit more. If Ice Rod or Boots are required, I'm starting to see a world where Flippers are in Turtle Rock or Pyramid Fairy, and Gamachu ends up having to actually full clear all of that stuff. Ooh, nice laser shot. And we'll end up kind of, spending a lot of time doing those things where Orange will have to get back to Thieves Town before even being able to enter Turtle Rock.
At the very least, we've entered a world where both of the runners have things that are kind of out of their way on their current paths, and it's a question of who gets back to what quicker.
Yeah, we don't technically know that Ice Rod is required, but honestly, if the seed is handing out progression the way it is, especially the fact that Orange has been staying in Logic as he has been, it's starting to feel very likely the Ice Rod is required for something. So one of the, endgame scenarios that very heavily favors Orange is a Trinex on Landmo 2 boss. And speaking of which, Orange does a very, very clean current jump there. That was well done.
Yep, just kind of took the first bomb to eye the setup, and second time is the first time.
All right, Cam going straight to Desert Palace, as you do when... Oh, no, he's just checking the ledge. And going back. I suppose with the red cane, he can clear Mire. He doesn't know it. Well, he does know it because he has the 3 medallions, so he might just be doing Crystal Run right now.
Looks like at the very least going to check Mire Shack first. You really do kind of hope that that Tempered Sword winds up in your inventory sooner rather than later. And we've got Orange back at the village portal again.
Yep, Ganon's going on a Crystal Dungeon run. He can, he just needs a Fire Rod, I guess, in Flippers right now, so... Alright. I feel like Orange said no to Thieves Town earlier. He's never going back there. That's going to be a hard last location at this point. With the choice he made earlier to say no to it.
It is starting to look that way.
Feels really bad. But again, I don't want to say anything's over, obviously, because it's not, but the item you find for Go Mode has a huge effect on, what it locks, and we're still not certain. We still don't have a Fire Rod, we still don't have Flippers, but Orange has everything else but those 2 items, and the red cane that he needs to find in Thieves Town.
And here's Gamma just going to say no to the rest of Mire 2, breaks out the Bombos medallion and says, "Can you all please leave?"
Yeah, both runners kind of having, not really a problem, but not having very many bombs this entire seed. So
there was a point where Orange was a little low and Gamma had 8 or 9, and now Gamma's down to 2, but Orange's count has kicked back up.
Honestly, I'm thinking about this a little bit more, and one of the more interesting things we could find is a Fire Rod in Pyramid Fairy. That's actually totally possible. It'd be funny, but it'd be very interesting.
Something you wouldn't see with bosses' placements being vanilla, but unless it's a Trinex in one of those locations, absolutely possible here.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I'm really getting a vibe that Flippers are just going to be there, though, at this point. Maybe Fire Rod's in Pyramid Fairy and Flippers are in TR. That'd be fantastic, in the Fire Rod lock side.
We see Orange here in K45 going to opt for that blue boomerang. There are a few things that the hookshot cannot stun after all, and some of those the boomerangs work on instead, Gibdos being probably the most memorable amongst those enemies.
So, my name, I gotta ask you, as far as seeds go, the seed doesn't feel that bad. Like as specifically enemizer seeds, right? Like what do you want to see? What can we see to make the seed a little more interesting here? Like what we haven't really seen many rollers. We've seen like one Lionel. I don't know. Like let's make the seed jump out all of a sudden and really start kicking the runners in the teeth. Like what would you want to see?
Well, it may just be holding its powder, keeping it dry for a little while. Remember that we do still get to see the Ganon's Tower climb in this mode, and those gauntlet rooms? Those can be fairly entertaining in Enemizer.
Yeah, that could definitely be fun. This looks like a pyramid in front of escape check for Orange, and maybe finding that bow says, hey, let's go back to Pod Eastern. And he can kill Desert. Flippers might be on Ped from his perspective once he finds us. I think everyone's favorite is Helmicopter. It's a good meme. Gamma about to find his ice rod and boots here. Not finding a lamp and deciding to leave Mire. Interesting. Oh, Trinex was in Mire. Okay, well, Gamma about to be able to do Mire.
Except not, because we still have no idea where the fire rod is.
Oh, right. That's important. It's probably just in Dark Cross.
That is a bit of a potential out for Orange at the moment. We'll probably see that check after he gets done with the rest of this front portion of the escape.
Yeah, it's true, and Orange won't be able to even go into fight the boss of Mire or defeat Turtle Rock without that cane, so... Really what I'm trying to figure out is the best opportunity for Orange to not hard last location that red cane, and all things considered, its chances are getting more and more slim. There's not much left he can do. One of the biggest things that's actually helping him right now is staying in Logic pretty heavily, and not doing Ice Palace, honestly.
Yep, knows that he's not going to find the flippers there at the very least, and, well, Gamma didn't really turn anything else up there either, so maybe Orange gets to claw a little time back with a Go Mode Ice Palace later.
Yeah, definitely. There, you know, again, I don't want to be pushed. Okay, here we go. We get to see Dark Cross. This could be the Fire Rod. This is a Fire Rod. This is actually pretty huge for Orange. But these races are so hard to call until we get into GT, with the way the runners have found the items they have found. Oh, it was a nice Dark Cross.
Yeah, Dark Cross not really letting us down, but Orange doesn't need to spend a whole lot of time there.
Yeah, it's kind of boring with the lack of chain chomps, honestly. I really got to say, like, enemy-wise, this is kind of an easy enemizer seed. So I think,
wonder if the choice of enemizer on the part of the runner who picked it was in hopes that maybe it was going to equalize the matchup a little bit, and so far the enemization of the seed has not been all that unkind.
Yeah. And what is Gamma doing here? King's Tomb? I think that's it. He can't do the back of. He can't do Dark Crosshair because he burned the key. Blue Goo's nice, I guess.
If he remembers that he burned the key.
Yeah. He might do it. That'd be interesting. Now he's out. Wait, where's he going? Lumberjack? Oh, he just got the boots. I'm an idiot. Okay, so he's going to go check the boots checks. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm curious. If Orange finds the Fire Rod here, he won't be able to do anything in TR. He will be able to do Skull Woods and Eastern and Desert and Pod, and that's like it. If he does Skull Woods and doesn't find anything, do you dip a Pendant Dungeon at this point? Or do you just go back and get... I'm trying to figure out his route to Thieves Town. I think I honestly think the answer is hard last location, but I'm trying to figure out a way for him to suss it out here, you know?
I don't know. I think it almost just has to be one of those gut feelings at this point, because I'm not seeing
Yeah.
the logical way to it.
Yeah, and we saw the book on Floating Island earlier, which is where Orange is going. So I think he'll check Ether Tablet into Bomb. Do you check? Do you go to Bombos after this? I guess you could check Ped. Ped's in Logic now for him. It's not for Gamma, which is interesting. Oh, in fact, Gamma doesn't have the lamp. He can't even do Ped. Oh, this could be a huge out.
Yeah, you're right. That there is no fire for Gamma right now. He could do both of the eastern dungeons. That would be just fine, whether he finds that lamp or not. But right now, that is hard locking the back of Desert Palace.
Yeah, I mean, we could see like a Fire Rod or Flippers on Ped scenario or Flippers on Ped locking the Fire Rod scenario, which actually might be bad for Orange now that I think about it, because then he'll full clear Swamp and won't need stuff in there. So, there's a lot of stuff that can happen right now. All of a sudden, this seed got really interesting.
It does look like, once again, both of the runners having these very similar ideas of where to go and win. We've had them kind of chasing after each other here. Pretty much right off the hop. Just one or two differences are making everything at the moment. That lamp on Orange's side, the red cane on the side of Gamma.
Yeah, it looks like Orange going straight for the Ped check. I get this. This, you know, he doesn't. What does Orange have left? Really, he has Eastern. Well, he has Ped. He has Ped in Logic. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense.
Ped in Logic, and if you don't want to do that, I guess you can always run down and check Bombo's tablet really quick.
Oh, that's a great check. It only takes like a minute for one thing. It's fine. Fancy a swim! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Ped seed with the Flippers on Ped, which is actually kind of really bad for Orange because he will now full clear Swamp Palace looking for the cane, among other things. So it's good, but it's also really bad for Orange. It's good that he knows it, though. I have a feeling this will actually slow him down a lot, even having that information. But,
yeah, it's kind of a best worst case scenario, isn't it? But it looks like Gamma may be taking the fire rodless dip into Turtle Rock here, and we now know that he's not going to find the flippers within.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a huge waste of time, especially if he can complete the dungeon without finding the fire rod. So Orange probably feeling really good with that Ped check, actually. But we know that the real kicker right now is that Red Cane in the backup Thief's Town Attic. So as we get through to a couple new things here and learn about this amazing seed that our runners get to play today, I want to just give a quick shout out to our runners, Gamachu and Orange, both amazing runners, both doing a great job, putting on an awesome show for us today. So if you're enjoying the show, if you're having a good time and would like to see more action from these two runners, please give them a follow.
Surprisingly enough, for runners this good, they do play rando even when they're not in tournaments or league matches or things along those lines. You can actually just catch them playing of a night every now and again.
Oh man, Gamma getting the double key bait. But
yeah, you saw he got that mirror ready too. He's like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to leave. And TR said, "You sure? You can keep going if you really want." He says, I guess.
But yeah, definitely just to put it out there, both these runners are really, really awesome people, really fun to watch, and really good runners. So, yeah, please give them a follow and go enjoy their streams. Oh, okay. He gets burned. There's nothing left to do in Turtle Rock except Mimic Cave. So that's kind of sad. So the big key is in the Fire Rod locked side. Unless the Fire Rod's in Mimic Cave, which can happen. Which now, if that's the case, I have no idea who this is good for at this point. Probably Gamachu, because then he go mode Swamp. Oh boy. Oh, Orange. Sorry, Orange gets that potion off in time.
Just barely on the last couple of invincibility frames, gets that potion to go. When you're still on green mail, low-key, one of the more difficult bosses in the game, Helmasaur King will happily charge at you and swing the tail around and throw fireballs, and it all does a couple of hearts of damage.
All right, Fire Rod? Just 10 arrows. Okay, well, nothing left in Turok. We still have a Fire Rod at large. Probably unlikely that it's behind the Flippers at this point. Flippers feel like they're our go mode item, as far as the seed is concerned logically.
I guess with the possible exception of the Fire Rod being behind them in Swamp, they pretty much have to be at this point. Looks like Gamma's finally going to land on this lamp, though. Casual hour and 5 minutes. Here we go. We're finally going to go into Skull Woods, where something that's going to put most of his shenanigans back into logic lies.
Yeah, and from this discovery, he will be able to also check Ped and realize that he needs to start doing pendants, which Orange has figured out already. And as far as things go, we still need we need a Red Cane, obviously, but we need a Fire Rod to be able to complete Mire. So, at this point, from either runner's perspective, Orange just found the big key and probably feels behind, but when do you start skipping stuff? Was that 3 items in Eastern? I wasn't paying enough attention.
I'm trying to back count from where we are, and I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I know we saw both items in Desert. Did we see Green Pendant turn in? I actually missed that. Or is he going to do that after Eastern? Probably after Eastern, right?
Probably.
Okay, so this is the 50-50, it looks like, from Orange. Again, I'm getting beaten up by the mummies here. I'm having a little bit of trouble in this room. It's tough. It's a tough room. I understand what he's going through.
Finds that second item, doesn't seem all that interested in the pet at the moment.
Wow.
May simply be so close to out of locations that he's just going to assume that if he doesn't find it in the next couple, he's going to have to pull it anyway.
Yeah, I guess, because he does Smiths, he does Bombo's Tower. Oh, that was a compass on the Eastern boss, so there's an item in Eastern Big Key chest. Okay. So I think Gamma does this. He does Bombo's Tablet. And then... what does he have left? I'm trying to figure out the routing. Okay, Orange got to check our green pendant here. Just $20, which could be literally anything at this point. We've found pretty much every heart and heart piece that one could ever want in a hard seed.
We're still a couple of hearts away from establishment, but I expect that we're going to get there sooner or later.
Yeah. So, yeah, Orange gonna go finish Desert now. Makes sense. You know, this could work out in that if he doesn't dip Mire. Gets the flippers, but still needs the red cane. So if he does Ice Palace the slow way, he's gonna lose, I don't know, 2 minutes? A minute and a half? Something like that. Depending on where the items were.
Kind of an interesting ennemized room. It's almost vanilla, but we just replace one more Popo for the BMOS that's usually there.
Yeah, definitely. Just use your sword beams, bro. Hey, Gamachu going for the blue boomerang too. This might be that, I think they call it fluff.
Yeah, it just makes the collection count look a little more impressive at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, so...
Classic enemizer trick, we have an Armos statue popping up out of the tall grass there.
Oh, I love it. We haven't seen very many enemies showing up out of nowhere in this seed so far, but like cutting down bushes and stuff. So that is Orange's third pendant. He now has the flipper axis on pedestal and can go into Swamp Palace to look for items, as well as Ice Palace to look for items. And Gamachu checking Bombo's tablet. This is pretty big. It's a big 20.
Yeah, that is a big 20. You're not wrong, Beer.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we're still looking for a Fire Rod. This is a good seed. I'm loving this seed. I hope everyone else in chat is really having fun with this one.
Yep, a seed that makes sure that we get to see absolutely everything.
Yep. And Orange... Actually, I have no idea what he's doing right now. He's took the portal and then said, nope, I need to just go straight to Ped. Yep. Yeah, he could have taken the portal and walked back through school. It's like probably not faster, but by the time you make the mistake of doing it that way, it's like, whatever, just go do it. So we're in a very interesting situation here where Orange will have his flippers in a moment, and Gamachu knows he has to get them now and has to go beat every single pendant dungeon. But yeah, Gamachu with that cane, that's still the question of the day. Where does Fire Rod and when does Orange do the cane?
Yeah, looks like we're going to get the Swamp Palace play here. Seems like we're down to this for the resting place of that Fire Rod at this point. So, unfortunately, that's going to be go mode for Gamma, and Orange is going to show us right where it is. It's a question of, can Orange get through his remaining checks first and actually get back to the one place we know he needs to be?
Yeah, definitely. So Orange is like, there's no way he doesn't full clear Swamp Palace. I mean, he might say, hey, I feel behind or not, depending on, how he feels about that book. About those flippers, and say, well, I feel behind. I'm not going to do left side swamp. But at the same time, he literally has nothing left. He has left side swamp if he skips it, Ice Palace, and the back of these down, which he had already made a conscious choice not to do earlier, twice now. So it's really tough to say if... I doubt he skips left side swamp, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Mainly because he's just literally out of stuff to do.
I guess the question becomes, is Fire Rod enough to convince you that you don't want to make what is kind of a slow check?
Yeah, I mean, because really, we know Fire Rod's not an ice palace, so it has to be in Swamp Palace, right? At this point.
Yeah, that or something that leads to it.
Yeah. So whatever Orange finds in here, if he has to chase, and if it's on left side swamp, then it's whatever, it happens. But and actually, Vortex brings up a good point. Orange did abandon Waterfall like super early, so we did see it from Ganon's side, so we know there's nothing there. But Orange does not. That's another thing that he has the ability to check.
And probably will either right before or right after Ice Palace.
Hey, my Indian, did you see that? We just got our blue blocker shield on Orange's side from the Compass Justice Swamp Palace. Our first shield.
Yeah, imagine that. We're only an hour and 14 minutes into the seed.
Yeah, we've already pulled Ped. It's fine. Get your first shield after you pull Ped.
Yeah, normally something that the uncle hands you about 40 seconds into the new game, but it's rando. We do things a little differently here. That's okay.
It was a nice laggy room. Yeah, and Orange taking the ballsy play here of just going for the diver down. Like, this is not something that you know you can do going into Swamp Palace, and just going for it is really YOLO, honestly. But it works for him, and he's able to pull it off. So good job, very well done.
One of those things where enemizer can just say no, kind of like Hammer Yump, but in this case it worked out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so here's another chest we never saw that if Gamachu checks is more information, but the Eastern Palace Big Key chest is something that Orange skipped.
There's a red thing for Orange, but it's the other boomerang, not what he's looking for, and the big key in its vanilla location.
Yeah, not a good thing. Trying to still figure out the best situation for Orange here. If Gamachu checks Eastern Big Key chest and nothing's there, that helps Orange a little bit. If Orange finds the Fire Rod, he can do Mire. No, he can. Well, he can check Mire. I don't know. I'm really trying to put together like an end game for Orange here to have a chance. That Red King is kind of important. The thing we saw an hour ago at this point. Ooh, okay. This is the situation I was talking about earlier. That being able to do this is like pro level stuff, and Orange is about to pull it off. Very well done. And just a Moldorm Swamp Palace.
Yeah, easy Moldorm. How many eyes do you think?
Did we see a Moldorm? We didn't. I don't know. I like one. One looks really stupid. 8 looks really stupid too. Hey, Fire Rod, neat.
Surprise, surprise, the Fire Rod in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, imagine a Fire Rod being locked by the lamp. That literally never happens in this game, ever.
I love those two popos in the penultimate room here in Eastern, pretending like they're red
Yeah.
Igors, even though they're very clearly not.
That's funny. Alright, so with that, Gamachu finishing off Eastern, finishing off Pod, has to go clear Desert Palace now. Orange, with the Fire Rod, will most likely, finish off Swamp, finish off Skull, probably full clear Ice. Then the question is if he dips Mire or not, versus doing the back of East Town, which the answer is he's going to dip Mire. Because that's just how this works. And then Gamachu, does he do left side before doing the back of Swamp Palace? Because those are the time saves that we have left in the entire seed.
Another one of those 20s, of course. Saha just handing out a little free money. But Orange's crunch is getting very crunchy at this point. Because Gamma's on to the last of those pendant dungeons now, and Orange is really pretty close to running out of outs.
Yeah, let's see if Gamma is able to do the desert boss cleanly here with just a bow. I'm not sure how, comfortable he is with the execution of not having the fire rod on here. Maybe he can use the ice rod and see how he does.
And here it is, right before the Ice Palace play, Orange going to go ahead and have that look at the Waterfall Cave, which Gamma's shown us, and there's nothing really interesting in there.
Yeah, nothing there, and Orange did. Who's it going now? All right, Kamichu has to take on the Armless Knights. Let's see if he can get a quick kill here. He has a different strategy than you normally see, but usually works for him. And does a great job today of knocking it out. So with his third pendant, he is now in get the flippers off of Ped and then get your fire rod. Go mode.
Going to have to do a few checks still, but it seems to be in pretty good shape. Now, the open question in all of this is, why haven't we found another sword yet? We've basically full cleared the game.
Well, swords don't exist, just in general. But that's a good point. We found both armors and I don't know, a couple extra heart pieces maybe? They both have 12 hearts, so Gamma has 13 hearts.
I don't recall if they landed on Sank Heart at any point, so that may be what Gamma's missing. It's kind of tough to say if it's just another heart piece or two, since we never see the menus anymore because Quick Swap exists.
Yeah, why menu? I mean, you can quick swap. And oh, this is interesting. We didn't see this earlier. Orange has to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. Well, this is a good question. Can he do the Ice Palace bomb jump? We have definitely seen a race earlier this season where one of our runners was not able to actually do it without going and killing the floating skull in the other room. And we do know, based on Gamma having completed Ice Palace, that Ice Palace is red cane locked. So if there's a floating skull in this room and Orange is not able to do it, he'll either have to hover or go and realize that that's the case, go kill the floating skull, and then come back. So let's find out. And no, there's no floating skull. Okay, easy game. Moving on.
Speaking of easy game, though, Gamma going to go ahead and flood Swamp Palace.
Yeah, but what could possibly be in Swamp Palace, right? I mean...
Oh, surely nothing. It's the easiest papercut dungeon in the game.
Yeah. Definitely not our Go Mode Fire Rod. We did see... I'm trying to remember. Did we see what the boss of Skullwoods is?
I do not recall right off the top of my head. I think we were kind of speculating about bosses at that point, so maybe... I think the compass actually is in the back there.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
And a lot of things on that moving platform can be just a little squirrely. So, although you can't really tell because Enemizer can sometimes play havoc with the sprites, it looks like we had some vanilla red bars in that room. on Orange's side. And now one from go, you see the strat from Orange where you go ahead and check that first rather than going on up because, well, if it's his Cane of Samaria, then he knows it's time to run away.
Yep. All right, Gamma getting his shield.
It was kind of funny that we had 2 shields locked away in Swamp Palace. Normally the meme is there's always a sword in Swamp. Well, today it was shields instead. That's the thing for enemizer, right? That it's just a little different.
There's always a shield in Swamp, and Gamma getting a little beat up by the anti-fair here, and able to make it through somehow. Double checking to make sure that it's not a Trinex here, just in case that he doesn't find the Fire Rod in the literal next check that he's about to open.
But imagine finding anything else. That's going to be go mode for Gamma 2 at 1 hour 24 minutes.
Yeah, Gamma 2 now in go mode.
Orange not getting quite the cooperation he wants from these little Argai. Was trying to do some double hook spins on 2 puffs at a time, and they just weren't cooperating very well.
Getting his second shield. Gamma 2 has his 5th crystal, and as well as Orange having his 4th crystal, I believe. So, no, they both have 4 crystals. So, the question is, when does Orange go back to the back of Feast? He doesn't have much left, to be fair. There's trying to think of checks Orange hasn't done besides dipping Mire, honestly, at this point.
I think it's pretty much dipping Mire, but that's a pretty substantial time commitment.
Yeah, definitely.
And it looks like that is exactly the commitment that Orange is going to make, going to follow Gamachu right into Mire. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know that Gamachu now has everything that he needs to beat Mire.
Yeah, so this will put him a little behind. Gamachu already having dipped Mire, I believe. Yeah, knowing that it's Trinex, has the big key and just gets to go mode it, where Orange has to full clear looking for the big key. Finds out it's Trinex and will not be able to even get to the boss. But other than that, I believe his next check will be the back of Peace Town, because he has exhausted every other possibility available to him.
Gamma fire rotting his way through Mire 2. Orange, it appears, is more than content to use the Master Sword. The fire locked big key, and Gamma, of course, did not have the lamp on the previous visit, so still had to track that one down. Orange, of course, is in here going to make all of the available checks because, well, it's Randomizer. We could have the French vanilla Cane of Samaria, although we don't.
Yeah, definitely. It's not a bad play. Like, this actually makes sense from his perspective. He made the call when he was in Thieves Town to rush the boss and decided that the back of Thieves Town is not a thing that I'm going to spend time doing. Instead, going and doing everything else in the game. Which, from a racing perspective, is you could ask yourself as someone watching, like, why wouldn't you do that? Well, you're racing someone who you may or may not think has a good opportunity to beat you, and you need to make a few skips. You need to be smart about how you play, and that I'm not going to full clear the game faster than my opponent. So what do? Well, you pick an item or two here and there to skip, and sometimes rando gonna rando, and you're gonna pick the wrong item to skip.
Could just as easily have been 10 sticks or 20 bucks, but this was the seed where it was the Cane of Samaria.
Absolutely.
There are a whole lot more 10 sticks and 20 bucks in the pool than there are Canes of Samaria. And if you're going to try and play percentages, that was a good one to try.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've definitely heard some players talk about if there's one item in the back of Thieves Town, then it's likely progression. Other players say, there's only one item, there's no reason to go check it. So it's really about who you talk to, you know?
And there's probably a lot of confirmation bias on both sides of that. This is what's happened to me, so it happens to everybody, right?
Exactly.
Orange with a nice little rail clip there. Saves time if you get it on the first try, which of course he did.
Very well done.
Orange gets the compass, sees that it's a Trinex, but without the red cane, can't do anything about it.
Yeah, definitely not. So I think at this point, Orange has Skullwoods, which Gamma's going back to, and the front of Thieves Town. So knowing there's not an item on Skullwoods, he's going to kill the boss first, but I'm trying to think, does he actually, besides the front, no, does he literally have anything else? I don't think so. Yeah, okay, this is what I thought. So Orange, there's literally nothing else left for Orange, so he's going to go grab the red cane, finish that up, and probably go kill Thieves Town on the way. And after that, go and kill Misery Mire. So going to be about what it takes to get, let me think about this. About a killing Thieves Town boss plus a killing Mire boss behind here. So there's still a chance. There's still a big key possibility in GT here for Orange to make up some time. It really depends on how Kamichu does on this fight here, if he's able to execute it very well or not. Knowing how he's been playing so far, I don't see any issues, but we'll have to find out. Ooh, almost getting 1.0'd. Oh, nice viddy.
Yeah, here we are with the conveyor trying to wreak a little havoc, but Half Magic Cape seems to be getting the job done. Does have the blue potion. Seems content to trying to get by without it.
That does a very nice job, as all is left is the big eye.
Very cleanly done, as Gamachu runs out of sticks.
Yeah, and finds the compass, so he now knows that the boss of Skull Woods is Vitreous.
What an amazing thing. Looks like we'll get to see the same fight on Orange's side here momentarily. As Gamma flies away back to the mountain, we do still have one dungeon left to clear. I don't think we've seen the compass yet in Turtle Rock, so I guess we can do a little guessing as to just what boss we're going to have tucked away there. Really could be just about anything. And we know from Gamma's previous trip that the big key is over on the fire-locked side, so we are going to see pretty much everything. Maybe if the small keys are particularly complementary, we don't see Laser Bridge, but that's about it. Could be kind of fun if things like the Cannonball Room in Eastern and the Laser Eyes could be replaced with other similar trap kinds of things. That might be a little bit of added entertainment for Enemizer, but that's not the way it works at the moment. That moving floor not really cooperating with Orange, but does manage to get enough sticks and sword slashes in to get the job done. And it looks like it was a regular heart container that Gamma was still short. Finds one there by the big key in the right-hand side of Turtle Rock. So Gamma has reached full establishment. 14 hearts, will not see any more.
Yeah, it's still stuck on Master Sword. You know, Tempered Sword is better, obviously, but Master Sword, let's see. He doesn't have any arrows either. There's 5 arrows in TR that he can grab.
And I guess if he really wants, he can always do a little digging outside of Ganon's Tower, although being Enemizer, we're not going to have to worry about actually having to take care of mimics in the mimics rooms. He's going to go ahead and grab those 5 just in case anyway.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. Otherwise, he might end up in a dumb situation where you got to shovel 4 arrows outside of GT. Very unlikely, but oh, there's 10 arrows. Grab it. There it goes. Very well done, Gamma.
Right, that bonk was entirely intentional.
Yeah. Gamma never bonks unless it's to pick up arrows because he wasn't able to get it the first try. So, makes sense. Yeah, if anyone has missed what we've seen earlier, it definitely wasn't an oops all dungeons. It was do everything except Aga because the flippers were on the pedestal today. So the only oops that happened was both runners more or less double dipped every single pendant dungeon, except for Eastern, hoping that, nothing was there except for the flippers that they needed, which they both found out before completing the pendants.
Gamma using the cape to effect here, avoiding all of these surprise spike rollers in the dark. That's more of the kind of thing we expect to see from Enemizer, but, well, when you already have the cape, it's not nearly so dangerous. These are probably heart containers or heart pieces, but one of them might be the other bow. Tough to say. And more vanilla keys. Are we even surprised?
Yeah, as expected.
Every once in a while you start to ask the question to yourself, is it even randomized? And sometimes if you find yourself asking that question, you can always go ask Sahabot to roll you a vanilla preset seed. Then it's really not randomized.
Hey, vanilla preset's an amazing seed. Like, just to if this is something worth knowing that anyone who plays Randomizer and wants to get better, everyone says go play NMG, and honestly, NMG is good to play if you want to get good at NMG. But if you want to get better at Rando, go play vanilla preset.
It's
get all the
MMG, but it strips all the text boxes out, and you can use Quick Swap. If you have a
Absolutely.
favored custom sprite, you can use one of those. If you want a little MSU to go along, you don't want to use the vanilla audio, well, that's fine too.
Yeah, and so here we go with the 7th crystal at Turtle Rock. As you do, we are now entering GT, and we have about 20 seconds or so to get your guesses in chat of where you think the GT big key will be. There's a chance for it to be in the first 22 chests, and it better be in there, otherwise the seed's broken. So get your guesses in chat. 1 to 22, integers only. If you guess anything otherwise, we will not recognize that guess as an actual guess.
It really does feel like this seed needs to have just one more little stinger, doesn't it? I'm thinking something along the lines of a 20.
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't think it's been nearly mean enough to be Tile Room. I don't think we can really expect that from the seed. The minimization was just too kind.
Yeah, definitely not a 1 or 2 or 3. 4 would be a 4. It's usually my guess. I didn't guess it because it was too slow. I'm too slow. I even called like the game being all of 10 seconds ago, but it didn't get there. No. So far, GT not being too bad. Gamma testing out bombs here, seeing how much they can kill, and he's able to kill a mini helmet with it. Orange about to enter TR, so about a full TR behind. Not many places the big key can be that can help Orange here, except for Tile Room, honestly. And even then, it's still not sure.
Is it a situation where you feel supremely behind, having left your red cane behind in the back of Thieves, and you know that your opponent tends to be a little lucky with sussing out item locations?
I mean, oh, well, there's a free sword, so that's very nice for Gamachu. But as far as it goes, playing something like Gamachu, it's not like he's gonna, he's not like he's ever gonna hard last location an item, right? Besides the Fire Rod? I guess he never did Left Side Swamp. I believe he does have the blue cane, though. But, at some point, like, when you get into the Dark World and the first check you do is the back of Thieves Town and an enemizer seed, that shows one of two things. It either shows that you're not really experienced in enemizer, or you're being kind of overly thorough that you think, you don't want to spend time last locationing something in a place like that. But, there's not a lot of people you talk to who play enemizer regularly who would go straight to the back of Thieves Town. You know what I mean?
Especially with what we saw out of the Hellway, it's exactly the kind of thing where you think, maybe I don't want to be here right now.
Yeah, for sure. Especially finding 2 items in the front and not actually checking the boss before knowing what's there. So.
That and being hard mode, the mail upgrade is never going to get better, but you can at least hope to have a few more hearts or maybe the blue cane before you get back there and have to deal with something really horrible.
Yeah, definitely. And we do find the big key. I actually wasn't counting. I don't know if you saw that. I'm sure it was the number between 1 and 22. We see some 13s in chat. That's what I hear people saying. I don't think we had a prediction today, sadly enough. But yeah, it's a really tough call, like an enemizer, especially when you go into Thieves Town. Going to the back is not the first thing you think to do. And it looks like there was a skull there. A couple bonks. Gamma just decided to bonk a few times just for good measure.
Just trying to run up the bonk counter a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he feels comfortable knowing that he got through the seed with the boots so late that he can't ramp up his bonks a few times. But getting bailed out with a fairy there, which is really nice. Been a nice GT climb. A lot of times in GT, hookshot is actually the best thing you can do in enemizer. So
And these really were the rooms that I was holding out hope for. We could actually see some interesting enemy changes, but no, it's
Yeah.
just a bunch of shadows and a few pickets.
Yep. And they didn't even steal a shield, so I'm sure Gamma is pretty bummed, honestly. Like, I know how much he hates shields in this mode, or in this game in general.
There we go. Mini Helma's on ice. If we could have had about 3 more of those, maybe this room could have been entertaining, but no, sword beams. Sword beams just say no.
Yeah, nice video, but at this point we literally have every single item in the entire game, so that's cool. Just dash through them, kill them. It's fine. Try next here would have been fun. I don't know. Anything else? As far as enemies go, like I was saying, the seed wasn't that bad. It was pretty fun though to watch. No helicopter, sadly, for the viewers. Although Vitreous and Skullwoods is never anything you really want to see, honestly. But luckily, it's their last boss.
A lot of bosses get more difficult in that room, though. That conveyor is the real boss of the room, I'm convinced. Yeah,
definitely. The walls of spikes sucks, but some bosses it's not that bad on, honestly. Orange going to take out Argus here. Gamma just YOLO dashing this room. This is a room that you like a lot of times that there's a lot of things that can mess you up. So yeah, very confident. Decides to jump off. Has too many hearts. I think 12 is too many, so he wants to just burn a couple just to make sure. So jumps off the ledge just for good measure to make sure that he knows that it's possible still. Burns a heart or two. Now Orange has his 7th crystal. And then Gamma jumping down. He's really testing to make sure that the drops work still in this game. Like he doesn't want the drops to fail. So that makes sense.
Maybe he's concerned that it was secretly door rando all along and it's just been vanilla the whole way.
Yeah, that could be very true that he actually went the wrong way through the dungeon and is trying to make up time by checking the drop downs. I could totally see that. Fluffing that first chest, ignoring the second. There's nothing that he could possibly want at this point. Knowing that he has full swords, full shields, full armor, full arrows, and full bottle. No? I guess he could get a bottle. Okay, I take it all back. Yeah, he's definitely must be feeling really nervous playing against an amazing player like Orange.
Well, you have to think that at this point, when you get into a second round of the league playoffs, no matter who your opponent is, you're facing somebody who is no slouch at all at the video game.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Especially someone like Orange, who is, very good at this mode and definitely has a leg up on Gamma in playing seeds like this. As long as the Red Cane doesn't end up in the place it was. So, rando gonna rando, and that's what happens. And here we are seeing very nice cape usage from Gamma on the Aga 2 fight, actually.
It's one of those things that you don't always think about, but it can definitely make some patterns just a little easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, if he hadn't been wearing the cape at the time, the blue ball would have hit him and made it not possible for him to get that double. So did a very good job there. And just dropping into Ganon, which today looks like some turtles, a couple shadows, I think. The enemizer enemizing the Ganon sprite as well, as it does.
Meanwhile, it looks like Orange has committed to my preferred route through Ganon's Tower, has gone over to the Stalco's room first, and is now heading right towards Compass.
Yeah, as Gamma goes through the NMG Ganon fight, which is what happens, plus half magic, so a little bit nicer. Gets a very nice 1-on-1 using these spin strats there. Just down to 4 hearts, which is now 2-hit KO.
Or 1 if you decide you want to hug the pig for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, he looks so cozy over there, right? Like, he's just, hey, I'm wearing a cape, it's fine. My cape matches your shield. Let's have them meet up and, trade secrets. Was that Kefka's Tower secret today?
Yes, it
Speaking
was.
of secrets. All right, Gamma getting the torch glitch. A good start to the fight.
Now, if anybody missed it in the previous game on this channel, there was a masterclass in how to do torch lamp triples.
Oh yeah, very nice. I think
Having it a little more free and easy here with the tempered sword doesn't have to worry about that. Plenty of half magic and the fire rod going to have more than enough time to get the job done.
yeah, fire. Ooh, almost falling off there. Firing a fire rod shot into the corner just to see if the stability of the top wall is high enough. And gets him done. Takes him out. 12 spins with the tempered sword. Get your GGs in chat for Gamachu as long as he is able to cross the 1x3 bridge to collect the Triforce. Which he is. And Gamachu finishing this race in first place with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 52 seconds. So if anyone is interested to know anything that about what Gamachu did in this race or why he chose to do certain checks when he did, please get your questions in chat. We'll be sure to ask them on the restream if he decides to join us for an interview.
And if not, well, that would be the good time to remind you to go ahead and follow him, and Orange, of course, and then you can go ask the questions in their chat at some future date. Orange going to go ahead and ferry up here in the refill room. Makes a lot of sense. You don't know what's coming up, does not know that by enemizer standards, the gauntlet is reasonably free today.
Yeah, and definitely in a race like this, I can understand. I don't know how Orange chooses to do things, but I definitely know in my own races, as soon as I enter GT, I turn off the race room. I have no reason to want additional stress as far as like finishing the seed. I just want to finish, and if my opponent's done or not, I'll find out at the end. So he might not be. He might not know that Gamachu's done at this point and is doing his best to finish as fast as he can, which obviously is what you want to do in a race. And using that ether very well, killed everything in every room except for like 2 enemies, I think.
Yeah, it's one of those convenience medallions. It does get the job done on a lot of the enemies that we found in the gauntlet today. And now some cape strats with the tempered sword on Vitreous. Easy game, right?
Yeah, very nicely done too there.
So, Beer, while we're seeing Orange through these final few rooms, what did we hope to see from the enemizer that we didn't get? What can people look forward to if this gets picked as a mode in some other matches that are coming up in the Invitational League?
So, honestly, there's 2 things that I was really sad about that I will call out in this seed was that there were like almost no rollers in this entire seed. Like rollers are like the heart and soul of enemizer. If you're not seeing rollers left and right, you're not playing enemizer. You know, yellow spikes are cool too, and then seeing like 6 viddies on a seed when you find both swords in GT, like stuff like that, man. I love the torture that you get to see on a seed like that, but this seed really didn't have. I think the hardest thing that you might have seen on the seed was Vitreous and Skullwoods, but by that time they had 14 hearts, half magic, and like 6 potions. So as far as it goes, there wasn't anything in the seed that Enemizer really added, honestly. Besides the random Trinex in Meyer, but eh.
Yeah, maybe it was a little harder to dash around than usual, but not all that much.
Yeah, Super Late Swords is actually really fun to watch in Enemizer, which is why I really love the Season 7 League modes that the admins chose for us, which allowed us to play potential seeds with, hour-long swords, but still Enemizer. So, helicopters are always great for the viewers and the runners, because honestly, it's not like the hardest fight, it's just really fun to watch. So, yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of interesting things. How about yourself? Is there anything else you would have rather seen in a seed like this?
Yeah, I was really hoping that the seed was just gonna kind of hold off, and then we were going to get just the Ganon's Tower climb from the deepest, darkest pit of Rando Hades. And,
Yeah,
and no,
absolutely.
that's not at all what happened. It was just, a few shadows and a ticket
Yeah.
or two, and maybe one mini Helma.
Couple Ethan rooms. Yeah. So as Orange finishes up his Aga 2 fight and does a very good job here, we are also joined in the booth by Gamma Chew. GG's, Gamma.
Yo, hello, GG's, thank you.
So there's a few questions in chat. I think we should address that first while Orange drops into his Ganon fight. The first one, the most important question, I think, Chelsea is asking, why didn't you use the bug net the whole seed?
Oh, it's incorrect, actually. I'm sorry to say, Chelsea. I used it at Pod. I caught a fairy before I entered the dark rooms on the right side.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, just for that main reason, because I know I was going to go in the dark rooms. I'm like, I don't know what's hiding behind there. I'd rather play a little safe. I had a blue potion, but I want to make good use of that bug net, and I did.
Fair enough. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the other question everyone was wondering was that why didn't you finish up Pod before finding the lamp? It was the green pendant after all, and you did have the bow.
There was no way. After the myths, I'm like, this opens up the whole world pretty much. And Ped was never in my mind. When I did pick up those myths, so I knew there was either a fire rod or a lamp sitting in Eastern or back in Skullwoods. I think that's all the things I had left when I found the myths.
But you weren't interested in dipping Eastern to find out?
No, there was no way. The myths just opened too much, and I just thought maybe I'll just guild bail. That was a fire rod along the way. Ice Palace was on my radar. You know what they say about that particular rule. Mm-hmm. So,
how Ice Palace always locks the hookshot. I know what you mean.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
So I was disappointed there was nothing in there. I felt pretty bad, but I still probably would have done that before Swamp Palace, when I found flippers.
Yeah, for sure. And as we see, Orange doing a very nice job cleaning up Ganon here. Gets all the triples and finishes up in second place in this race with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 17 seconds. So get your GGs in chat for Orange. And we'll see if we can get him in chat here as well. I think the other question people are really wondering in chat is, what happened? Where was it when you took a death in Ice Rod Cave, or
oh gosh,
Chicken Hut. What
yes.
happened in Chicken Hut?
That was so tilting.
You were gonna miss the hammer, I think, and then you decided to go straight back there.
Oh, there
because
was
the
no
hammer
way.
is super important, right?
Yeah, it's very important. You don't want to skip progression, right? And I felt so bad. I threw a bomb, and the bomb knocked the guard right in my face, and that's like, oh, that felt just terrible. I felt good with the way I routed the overworld, but I started thinking, is this an Agassi? When I made my way back to Kakariko, I was hoping to get Dark World access straight from Kakariko.
Yeah, it makes sense. And if you die in Chicken Hut, you have to go back, right?
Yeah,
You're not going to last location Chicken Hut of all places.
No. I mean, I still have Blind's Hut and what is it? The well as well. So like that's still a lot of items.
We're not worried about that. We're just Chicken Hut was the place where you died.
Hot spot. Yeah.
Like if because that takes a long time to go back there. You got to kill all the enemies in it. You got to bomb the wall. You know, that's a solid like 20 seconds of wasted time. So just go do the well in Blind Hut, and you know, Chicken Hut doesn't exist. I think
go from there. There you go.
And we're also. Oh, go ahead.
Yep, we're also joined here now by Orange. Orange, good game to you.
GG.
Hey, GG's Orange.
GG.
GG's.
And now that we have both of you, the pressing question on the mind of everyone in chat, Gamma and then Orange, I guess, can we have a little conversation between the two of you about the choices you made in Thieves Town? Because that pretty much was the race.
Who wants to go first?
Well, we've been definitely grilling Gamma on all of his other mistakes. So I think honestly, I think we're more curious to hear about why, Orange, you made the decision when you did about doing the boss first and then leaving, but deciding not to come back.
I'm not going back in for one item, especially when the boss dropped the third one. Also,
I mean, I don't think most rational people are, and that's the real question I think everyone has in chat. So,
since the compass didn't drop in the first 4 chests of Thieves Town, and it was enemizer, I knew I needed to blind check the boss.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But if I had just conveniently forgotten how enemizer works, I would have had that cane a lot sooner.
Yeah, I actually, I knew, I already thought like I could just walk into the boss, but I'm like, if it drops the compass and there's still going to be 2 items in the back, I don't want to have to double back the, kill the boss and transition back into Thieves Town to go in the back to get the 2 items. I was just, just clear it all in one go. Do it. Don't leave anything behind. And once I got the cane of Samaria, I'm, hoping, oh, please let there be an item on, whatever the boss was right there. So in case Orange ends up going straight to the boss, he'll only be leaving 1 item in the back. So that would have worked out really well for me if that was the case, which ended up happening.
Yeah, I think that pretty much single-handedly won the race for you.
I mean, there was still an opportunity if you decided that the back of Thieves Town was more important than the flipper checks, which is a tough call, especially when you find the fire rod there. But I think one of the Gamma Shoot got almost baited into Laser Bridge, was like 1 chest short, got all the way to Mimic Cave without finding the big key, and luckily for Gamma, the big key was on the firelock side of TR. And I think the other, potential that you had that I was curious about was like, Gamma, you decided to do Smith Chain before checking Pedestal, I think, right?
Oh, I felt so bad about the TR play. I go all the way to Mimic Cave, I get nothing. And no, the only thing that's in my mind, the only thing, there's 2 small keys. I felt good, but then it felt garbage when I got nothing. And then Ped was never on my mind until I was thinking of going back to Meyer left side after I did the Smith Chain. And I was looking for a fire rod or lamp at that point too, and found the lamp in back of Skullwood. So I'm thinking, okay, I should probably go back to left side Meyer after doing the Smith Chain. A whole lot of garbage. I fluked there, and then I realized, wait, Pedestal is in logic. And that's when I decided to do a pet check and see that lovely flipper sitting there. I also felt bad. Going into Meyer, I thought I already had a fire source. I don't know what I was thinking. I just thought bombos. And, there's a Trinex sitting in there when I find the compass. Big key and firelock side. I'm like, I felt garbage, kind of. In case Orange also goes in there without the ice rod on hand. But it just felt bad. Terrible.
Yeah, so there were definitely, like, I don't know how to describe this. There were some plays that Orange had left that, because this all happened, 15 minutes into the seed, and we're like, we're not going to call this now. There's a lot of things that can still happen where Red Cane might cause Gamachu to waste a ton of time doing doing Turtle Rock, doing Mire, checking Pyramid Fairy, doing a bunch of stuff that's not required, wasting all the time there where Orange could find everything else and then realize last location is Kane, which is kind of a weird one, honestly. Like if it's Hammer, maybe it's a little different, whatever. But either way, we weren't calling it early, and it still ended up being a fairly close race, all things considered.
Yeah, I'm those little mishaps. I am still happy managed to get the win here. Yeah, that Kane just it felt like my bailout, even with the mishap in Meyer and TR.
Well, I mean, it was a bailout
It's
like
just
15 minutes into the seat, but yeah.
Yeah, because when are you really going to go in? It didn't lock anything, no progression, so it's pretty much going to be a last location at that point.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything that could have possibly bailed me out, because as soon as I got that Kane, my first thought was, okay, this is probably over. And two, the only way I'm winning this is if my enemizer pick causes Gamma to lose several minutes to boss death, but then the only things he could have realistically died to, because I know how good Gamma actually is, the only things he could have realistically died to was either the vitreous fights.
Oh yeah. I always played it very safe right there. I had the bow too, so I felt comfortable, kind of, but still green hearts is scary, or green mail.
Yeah, that was another thing that Fear Agent pointing out in chat, that Gamma did front of escape, then back of escape, then front of escape, then ignored everything, and then eventually never checked Dark Cross until super late. But if Fire Rod was in Dark Cross, had pretty big implications for Gamma 2 last locationing that versus Orange doing escape in one shot. So yeah, there were a few small opportunities that never kind of came to fruition here.
I remember I left an item there, but that was never going to happen, especially when I found the flippers on pad.
Yeah. So this is the final game in the series between these two teams, and don't want to send you off, Orange and Mogliacci, with such a sad goodbye, but just want to ask, between the two teams, like, how do you feel about the season? How do you feel about the playoffs, and like, just kind of final thoughts on how it all went for you all?
Well, the playoffs was our goal for the season, but we were kind of expecting to finish like third or fourth in the division. We never thought we would end up winning the division. And
you guys had 2 losses total in the entire season, the non-playoff season.
Yeah, we lost to each other, Yamachu and I, and we both lost to wall kicks.
Well, there you go.
But yeah, I think we can consider this a very successful season for us. We won the division. We made conference semifinals. That's good enough for us. And I'm just really happy that I got to spend some time working with my teammates. Like, I got a whole new appreciation for how some of my teammates play.
That's really cool. Yeah, like, did you... League is really cool when the concept of like doing co-op stuff, having teammates that you can spend time practicing with, but also getting to play modes that you may or may not like, but can learn a lot from playing, with people who are good at those modes. So I know, Orange, you've played for 2 seasons. Gamma, I'm not sure, like 3 or 4, maybe. There's been 4 seasons total, so.
Been here for 3 seasons. This is my 3rd season.
Cool.
Yeah, very happy to be with my teammates here. I'm really glad we've gotten as far as we have this season. It was really nice too to go up against Orange, because we've already come across each other in the spoiler tournament and during the non-playoff race, spoiler week I think it was, and here we are again. So it's always fun to be racing against Orange.
Yeah, I really enjoy racing against Gamachu, so I'm glad it was him that knocked us out and not, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'm just glad to be knocked out by a friend.
Yeah, that's a thing that I say a lot of times after races. It doesn't feel quite as bad when you get beat by a buddy, because then at least there's somebody who you can genuinely feel happy for.
Yeah, definitely. And if I were to ask, both of you guys, like, who are you rooting for going forward? Because now Skull Kids is the first team to secure the what is it called, semifinals, I think.
Yeah, I think that's semifinals.
Yeah, semifinals of League. Going 3-0 against Mogliacci. Titans Mitts have one more chance to do it, and then otherwise there's a few more games for the other 4 teams.
I'm quite looking forward to the Gamachu Dante rematch.
Oh gosh, that's
if it
something.
Happens, I don't think their series is over yet.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if that's the seeding that will force that, but we'll see.
I don't think the Titans Mitts and oh goodness, their opponents' names are escaping me.
Did you check your boot at the moment?
Yeah, I don't think that series is over yet, so I can't say that.
No, they're 2-1. Wolfjig did beat Relkin today in cross keys. It was either today or yesterday, actually, I forget. But so they are going to a game 4.
Yeah, at this point, when you reach this far in the league, it's only going to get more difficult from here on out, right? So regardless who I end up facing next, whether it be Tam or Dante or... Yeah. It's just
Tam or Dante.
Yeah. Either of those two. They're scary names. You don't want to go up against either of them. So Dante would be cool, It's a nice little rematch, like, from our main tournament. So, and Tam, I've raced up against him a couple of times in ladder. So they're both very scary. So regardless who I go up against, I just hope I, have luck on my side going up against him. And hopefully the mode chosen is not the most garbage.
Yeah, garbage is fun. It's the way to play.
Well, you know what you signed up for when you volunteered to be the Pendant of Power. Am I right?
Yes. Yes. I'm okay with this over entrance, so I'll take this. I'll definitely take this.
So yeah. So I want to give Orange a last word first for the kind of final words for your team for the season. So go ahead.
It's pronounced Mogliacci.
Mogliacci.
Yeah, but you get it right. Come on.
Wait, what did I say?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know if I have any more words to say. I just wanted to get that out there. I just said my thanks, how I feel about the season overall, and I'm hoping we'll be back and stronger than ever in Season 5.
I guess you can say that we heard it here first. Mogliacci going to be back for Season 5.
Yeah, GG's again. And Gamachu, any last words? End of this race and going into the semifinals?
No, just again, GG's to Orange. Definitely a fun opponent to go up against. And thank you guys, Mindium and Beer, for doing commentary. And who was Truffle? Truffle for tracking, putting up the yeah. Just thank everybody for volunteering and putting this up for everybody to watch. It's always fun. Watch it back. I'm definitely going to be doing that. And good luck to whoever ends up going up. Whoever I end up going up against. I'm sure it'll be a fun match. Dante, Tam, either one of them. They're both scary.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks a lot to both of our runners and Tafile, our tracker, Drossi for doing setup. And if you enjoyed the show, please follow our runners. Their links are in chat. My Indium, my CoCom. Always a pleasure every time we get to hang out.
Yep, quite a bit of fun. We had a good seed to have an entertaining evening on. It looks like we don't have any Invitational League action tomorrow. There are 3 matches scheduled for Saturday, however. But if you do need something tomorrow, if you need a little bit of maybe a wake-up rando or a lunch rush rando, I'm not sure however the time zones work out for you, but In Rod We Trust is going to be taking on Last Locationeers on this very channel tomorrow morning at 10:10 a.m. Eastern Time. Then those Saturday matchups and Invitational are going to be Pug Trio versus Error 216. That's Solsky versus Error. We don't have a channel for that one yet. Doesn't look like we actually have channels for any of those Saturday matches just yet, but we've also got a match between Shady Force of the Spoilers and JP of WJPDTB. My goodness. And then...
bunch of letters. W's,
then,
J's, P's, etc.
Yep. Same teams, 2 hours later, Zelgadis-san versus In the Name of DT. So, never fear, more league action coming your way shortly.
Yeah, and one last kind of shout out to say if in the Open League match tomorrow with BSJ versus Zen Arcane, if there is implications for this match, very important ones, depending on who you ask, that if Zen Arcane wins the match, the Last Locationeers will be securing a spot to be in the Invitational League next season. So very important match. And very, very good one to watch. Both amazing runners. I'm friends with both of them, and can't wait to see more Swordless. Swordless is amazing. So, but yeah, with that, I think this is gonna about do it for us tonight on SpeedGaming. So, had a great time, my Indian, as I always do with you. So yeah.
Yep, always a pleasure, Bear. Let's go ahead and say have a good rest of your night, everybody. This has been a SpeedGaming presentation of the Link to the Past Randomizer Invitational League. This was Skull Kids taking a 3rd game in this series over Mogliacci and punching their ticket on to the next round. Come back and join us in the future, but for right now, have a great rest of your day, everybody.